or millions of Americans living on fixed incomes, this month could finally bring some long-awaited relief. New information coming directly from Social Security and Treasury officials confirms that a fresh wave of deposits, some reaching as high as $2,100, is now being processed for eligible SSI, SSDI, and VA beneficiaries. These payments aren't rumors or viral speculation. They're part of verified federal updates connected to 2025's benefit recalculations, cost of living adjustments, and the latest round of disbursements designed to catch up with rising living costs. If you depend on monthly Social Security, supplemental security income, disability insurance, or veterans payments, you know every deposit counts and every delay hurts. The cost of groceries, utilities, and healthcare keeps going up, and for many households, those increases are eating away at what used to feel like a stable check. But now, government data shows that a new batch of payments, in some cases totaling over $2,000, has been approved to go out, and the timing depends on the type of benefit you receive, your payment schedule, and your eligibility status under the new adjustments. So what's really behind these larger deposits? The truth lies in the combination of this year's inflation-based COLA increase and the recalculations made for beneficiaries who qualified for back pay or adjustment credits. Some SSDI and VA recipients, for example, are seeing payments that include prior month adjustments, meaning their deposit looks larger than usual. Others, especially those on SSI, could see the increase reflected earlier due to how their payment cycle aligns with the Treasury's updated disbursement dates. But here's the key question everyone's asking. Who qualifies for these $2,100 payments? Are they part of a special relief fund, a one-time correction, or the new normal for 2025 benefit levels? That's exactly what we're breaking down in today's video, with verified details, real examples, and step-by-step clarity so you'll know exactly whether your next deposit will include the higher amount. If you've been checking your account or mailbox and wondering when, or if, that extra money is finally coming, stay tuned. We'll go over how these payments are being released, what categories qualify, and what updates are expected from the Social Security Administration and the VA in the coming weeks. Because after years of rising costs and government promises, this could finally be the month that many Americans see the difference show up right in their bank accounts. Now, let's dive straight into what's really happening with these new $2,100 deposits and what it means for you. The truth is, a lot of people are seeing different amounts hit their accounts right now, and it's leaving many wondering if this is a one-time boost or the start of something more permanent. The reason for these larger than usual payments has to do with a mix of cost of living adjustments, benefit recalculations, and in some cases, back payments that have finally cleared through the system after months of review. For some Americans, especially those on disability or veterans benefits, the delay in adjustments has been frustrating. But that also means when the payment finally arrives, it can come as a larger lump sum, which is why many are now noticing deposits of $1,800, $2,000, and even above $2,100 in their accounts. To understand it fully, we have to look at how these payments are structured. Social Security and VA systems don't always move at the same pace, and updates often come in waves rather than all at once. So while some beneficiaries have already received their October payments with the updated rates, others are still waiting for the next disbursement date based on their birth date or benefit type. The government has divided these cycles to make processing smoother, but it often leads to confusion, especially when neighbors or friends receive their checks days or even weeks apart. What's consistent, though, is that these $2,100 deposits are not random. They're linked to verified updates in the 2025 payment schedules, reflecting both the COLA increase and the federal payout adjustments that ensure every eligible recipient gets what they're owed. Now, here's something most people don't realize. These payments aren't extra money in the sense of a new stimulus or bonus. Instead, they're part of the structured benefit plan that accounts for inflation, missed back pay, or corrections made by the Social Security Administration or Veterans Affairs. For example, if you were underpaid earlier in the year because your benefits hadn't yet been updated with the new COLA, that missing difference is owed to you. The system eventually catches up, and when it does, the deposit looks like a big jump, often over $2,000 in total. So when you see that higher number, it doesn't necessarily mean the government is sending out a brand new payment program. but rather that your benefits have been recalculated and adjusted to reflect the full amount due. Of course, that doesn't make it any less important. For millions of seniors and veterans, this kind of adjustment can make a real difference in daily life. Imagine finally being able to pay off a lingering bill or catch up on a prescription refill without worrying about stretching the grocery budget too thin. It's not just about the numbers. It's about what those numbers mean for real people trying to stay afloat in an economy that doesn't seem to slow down. The extra few $100s might go toward heating costs, rent, or even a small emergency fund that gives some peace of mind heading into the holidays. That's why understanding where these payments come from and how they're calculated matters so much. Now, let's talk about the qualifications because that's where most of the confusion comes in. The $2,100 deposits are appearing for people across multiple programs: retirees, SSI recipients, SSDI beneficiaries, and veterans. But the criteria vary slightly. Essentially, anyone receiving federal benefits that are tied to the COLA increase or recalculated amounts could see a larger deposit. The Social Security Administration confirmed that all eligible individuals under these programs automatically receive any applicable adjustments. There's no separate form to fill out, no extra application, and no special request needed. If you're eligible, it's handled automatically through the Treasury Department's electronic system. The catch is that your timing depends on your payment group, and that's where it can feel inconsistent from one person to the next. For instance, retirees typically receive their payments based on their birth date. Those born in the first third of the month get theirs earlier, while others follow in the subsequent weeks. SSI payments usually come at the start of each month, but when the first falls on a weekend or holiday, the payment is pushed forward to the last business day of the prior month. This timing can create confusion when checking bank accounts, especially if one program releases early while another lags behind. VA benefits follow yet another schedule, often distributed at the beginning of each month, but sometimes adjusted due to system updates or verification cycles. This month, because of the administrative recalculations, some of these cycles have overlapped, leading to the unusual pattern of higher payments showing up around the same time for different groups. Another big factor is back pay. When the Social Security Administration recalculates benefits due to cost of living adjustments, sometimes they discover that certain individuals didn't receive the full increase in previous months. When that happens, they issue what's known as a retroactive adjustment, essentially paying out the difference that should have been included earlier. These retroactive payments can cover several months, which explains why some people suddenly see a $2,100 deposit rather than their usual amount. It's not a bonus, it's your own money that's been delayed. Now, what about those who haven't seen any change yet? That's a question filling up comment sections and Facebook groups across the country. If your deposit hasn't changed but you believe you're eligible, don't panic. The updates are being rolled out in stages. It's always smart to log into your My Social Security or My VA account online and double-check your payment history. These online portals show pending updates before the money actually lands in your bank account. You can also review the payment schedule posted by the SSA or VA for October and November to see exactly when your group is due. Many people simply fall into a later payment wave. Another thing to keep in mind is that some deposits may appear smaller if deductions are involved. For example, if you're enrolled in Medicare and your Part B premium increased slightly this year, that extra cost is automatically deducted from your Social Security payment. It doesn't mean you didn't get the COLA. It just means part of that raise is going toward your healthcare coverage. The good news is that the net benefit, or what actually hits your bank account, should still be higher overall than last year. Now, let's touch on the VA side of things because many veterans have been asking whether these $2,100 payments include them. The answer is yes. In many cases, they do. Veterans who receive VA disability benefits are also entitled to cost of living increases that mirror Social Security's annual COLA. That means if the COLA for 2025 was set at around 2.8%, veterans' benefits rose by the same percentage. When you add in any back pay or delayed adjustments from previous months, those deposits can easily total $2,100 or more. The VA and SSA often synchronize these increases to maintain fairness across both systems, ensuring that disabled veterans and retirees alike keep pace with inflation. For people living on a fixed income, that kind of update is more than just a policy change. It's personal. It's a reminder that even though the economy feels unpredictable, There are still systems in place meant to protect those who've worked hard, served, and contributed over decades. It's not charity. It's an earned benefit. And these periodic adjustments are part of keeping that promise intact. One of the biggest mistakes people make during these payment updates is assuming that if they don't see the money right away, they've been left out. That's almost never the case. Payment processing delays are common, especially around the months when COLA adjustments or recalculations roll out. Banks may also hold deposits for one business day if they flag them as large or unusual. The best thing to do is monitor your bank account and your official online benefit portal. If you still haven't received the updated amount after 2 full payment cycles, that's when it's worth calling the SSA or VA to confirm your file's status. Let's take a moment to look ahead too. The 2025 adjustments are setting the stage for what could be more significant discussions about benefit reform in 2026 and beyond. Lawmakers are already debating potential changes to how COLA is calculated, possibly moving toward a formula that better reflects senior spending habits. Medical expenses, rent, and utilities are all rising faster than the average inflation index. So advocates argue that seniors deserve a formula that tracks their reality, not the average Americans. If that change happens, future raises could better match what older Americans actually need to live comfortably. In the meantime, these $2,100 deposits are a crucial reminder that the system, while slow, still works in favor of those who've earned their benefits. For seniors, people with disabilities, and veterans, that extra money isn't just a number, it's breathing room. It's a few more groceries, a prescription refill, a bill caught up, or simply a night's sleep without worrying about the next payment. So as you check your account this month, remember this. If you see a larger amount, it's likely part of the October recalculations, the COLA update, or a delayed back payment finally clearing. If you don't see it yet, it's coming, and staying informed, watching your notices, and knowing what's due to you makes all the difference. Because when it comes to Social Security and VA benefits, knowledge isn't just power, it's protection. And that's why staying tuned to updates like this matters. Every dollar, every percentage, every timeline can impact how you plan your month. This isn't about hype or clickbait. It's about real information for real people who've worked their whole lives for these benefits. So as these $2,100 deposits continue rolling out across the country, keep your eyes on your account, your SSA portal, and your mail, because this could be the moment your long-awaited adjustment finally lands right where it belongs, in your hands.